French. I'm an illustrator and I live in London. I've been working in the advertisement industry for a few years, like being a CG artist. Then I realized I was not very into the technique and the software, so I moved towards more like a 2D approach. It's been roughly, let's say, 2 to 3 years that I'm doing illustration professionally. Before it was more to help me out to work on other work, if you know what I mean. Usually where I used to work, I was more known for complex illustration. And that time I had to simplify everything. I was like, actually, it's much better to simplify things because I can produce more. So I finished that job and I was like, I'm a big fan of comics, and I was like, I should maybe simplify everything and make some small comic when I've got spare time, which I did, and that's when this style started to be recognized a little bit. And I didn't expect it at all. It was just a fortunate event to me. And then, when straight away people ask you for professional work for illustration, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna keep doing that actually. Influences, I think, to be honest, it's like all the first comics I was reading when I was a kid, like Tintin, the very basic stuff, and then kind of shitty American movies from the 90s and like the Zucker Brothers movie, like Hot Shots and those kind of things. Even though they are bad movies, like visually they have like weird ideas in there, which I really like. It's very visual. Well, the pop art, I think it comes more from using very small range of colors, bold colors, and dot patterns that I put a bit everywhere. To be honest, I didn't think about that much. Do I start again? I think it's the same guy. Yeah, I went to see the Liechtenstein exhibitions and I was like, shit, I'm using that all the time, actually it's very related to, and yeah, it's the kind of thing you don't know what you do that, but then you look around you and you say, okay, it's because actually I saw it everywhere. I always do rough and sketch some stuff up on paper, up front. Then I use the digital process because it's very easy to fuck up, and so I can go back and change things as much as I want, colors, and then I can be very reactive with clients, for example. Even though it's a very simple style, you always get, I don't know, clients or friends or whoever you work with that it'd be nicer with a bit of color there or texture here, or can you change this finger there? So the digital approach just makes things flexible. It's just harder when it moves. Animation process is much slower than one still frame, one illustration. You have to also educate clients to all the pre-productions to make sure that everything is validated by them until you go to first rough animation. Once you've got this rough animatic, you move to the final process. It's much longer. It's a much longer process overall. And I haven't done, with my style, I haven't done much commercial so far. Thing is, when people come to you for illustration, it's usually they tell you, all right, we want your style. So when you work for advertising, usually you have to create something new. They give you different references and you mix that up and you end up with an original design or not. If someone comes to say, hi Simon, we like what you do, can you do an illustration for that article that we're writing about? It's going to be much easier for me to handle the design process because it's what I do and what I like to do, so it's very straightforward for me.